we'll start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Not too bad, no. Neither one of them. I've had a cold for the last 14 days, and if I talk, I cough. So, you go talk.
Motion to accept the minutes of April 20th and April 27th, 2026. I'll second that motion. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Department head, chairs, you can sign mine first. You can sign.
Yep.
Coming up will be highway, water, and sewer.
You want me to be in?
Why not? We can
I'm good.
we can sign and talk.
Okay. Glenn Cassidy, Town Road Agent. At this time, we have been spring cleanup. We got about 90% of it done last week while school was out, which worked out very well. We just have a few parking lots to do. Obviously, we're not doing any major cleaning on the hill this year because of all the construction and trucks and material that's getting dragged in and out. I'm gonna talk to Reggie about, they're bucketing material back and forth from down the old clarifiers, and they hit them tracks and they're losing material. There's actually a couple big rocks that I'm gonna pick up when I go by. They're good size ones, size of a softball. So, they're losing material. We stripped my truck down. Randy's in the process of taking his plows and wings off. Reed's on a weight restriction. He came back last Monday. And, he has
He's got a bit chunky.
weight restriction from his back injuries. I'm gonna have him clean up the plows and do painting and stuff like that. He actually ran the sweeper for us last week, cleaning up. He was able to do that for a while. And,
What's his weight restriction?
40 pounds.
What size gallons of paint do you have? Ones or fives?
No, they're 1 gallon pound
Okay.
cans
Just
for the
checking.
plows. No, he wouldn't be able to lift a 5 gallon pail that
Yeah, I know.
straight. So that's the other thing we'll be moving on to when we get some nicer weather is striping all the parking spots and crosswalks here in town. We've been very busy this past month, as Al could see and Wayne out east on Page Hill and our dirt roads, we were dressing them up. But the grader came last Monday and started. He may have to go back on Page Hill and do the first section a little bit over because of the rain we got. The road didn't button back up and get totally packed. It was dusty for the first 2 days out there, but I wasn't gonna put my chloride out just in case we knew the rain was coming. And it pretty well settled back, packed in pretty good, but I didn't wanna waste the material if he had to come back and grade again, which he may have to dress up. But all our dirt roads are done. They get done. We're actually, I'm happy because we're like 2 to 3 weeks ahead of schedule than we normally are on our cleanup, even though I have cleanup on your lawn to do up your house.
I wouldn't bother it.
I know, they're digging it all up through there, so, but anyways, so that's what we're working on. So, the striping, and we have actually the banners to be changing out. We'll be doing that in the next few days. of getting the veterans banners up.
Okay.
And then we'll be starting on the pool cleanup towards, we usually start on that on Tuesday after Memorial Day. We prep the pool to get ready. So it's basically cleaning up our winter stuff, getting the cleanup around town. I got some more coal patch coming. We went through 2 tons of that, and we still have holes to patch. And, so other than that, things are coming together good, in my opinion. And then we'll sit down and go over with you guys, because we know we have to work on, we didn't even get to it last year, because we had an injury last year, the person was out, is sidewalks. So we're gonna have to choose some sidewalks to work on this summer to rip up and redo, so. So that's one of my projects would be that, and then this Herman Savage culvert, I know we're gonna be, you guys are gonna be voting on an engineering firm to go to the next stage of what we have to do with FEMA, and, we hopefully get that going. That's one of our biggest projects. And the paving, as I said to the previous board, we're saving last year's leftover money and this year's to get pretty well, hopefully everything all repaved and done on the whole hill, so we can come, when we come off from that project, that hopefully most of the streets will all be repaved up there, providing that the fuel, the price is probably, with the increase of fuel and petroleum products, it's probably gonna shorten this in a hurry, so.
Good.
That's what our big project is. So other than that, I think, like I said, we're pretty well ahead of schedule. And take care of whatever issues we come in with the pool over there, so.
Great.
Usually we have some pipes and everything every year and that, that's something in the future we've been talking right along, is to meet up with the rec, and, we know down the road, it's gonna need some major reconstruction over there with those pipes that are underground, we fix the leaks when we find them, but we know there still are leaks there, so.
Right, we're still losing water, right? Do we have an idea of how much water we're losing?
We'd have to go back and compute.
We've saved so much water, I don't know what we've actually lost.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't.
You fixed the hill.
Yeah.
Basically,
I'll
we're
know
watering
more.
the
We
entire
can only
hill.
tell you what we pump back into it, because it's all metered what we put in it.
So once we get it up and running, we'll see what's going on per day after that point.
Alright. With Reed, now, he's had serious back surgery, right?
Yes.
Alright, and as I think you and I discussed, he was spending time on a mower. I don't think that would be good at this point.
Well, he's talked to this physical therapist and his doctors, and they say, at his age, he has to go on in life and take breaks if he has to. If he feels that the vibration and that is pounding too much, then no, he can't. If he
Right,
finds that it's
okay.
aggravating.
Reed's a good man,
Right.
and he's very young to have this kind of problems, so, I think that we should be conscious, especially, and I know
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
Keep him.
I don't want to lose this young fella, because we've hired other ones in the past and nobody
No,
wants to do
he's the
this work.
exception to the rule.
Yeah.
But, he's a good guy, and so, and I appreciate your concern for him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's where I'm at. Oh, an update on, I notified Wayne and we both have looked, the gentleman out on the Brook Road did pull that dam all out. It's gone, but it really filled the settlement up in the ditch line. So if you've got any of these photos that he sent out, or if you received them in an email, what he's complaining about now is the amount of settlement it's, we've gone through a half a culvert to, less than a third of it. Because it's all backed up, and when it washed out around, it just filled settlement back in the. So what I was telling Wayne, what really needs to happen, he needs to take the lower one out, maybe over the summer in a period of time, it will start taking all those fines and like it normally would, keep a channel moving and go,
Okay.
Cause EPA, nobody's gonna give us permission to go in and dredge it.
Nope.
so.
And he's the one that caused it. So,
Alright,
we
Good. I'm happy.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Yep.
Reggie?
Yeah, ready to Sharon, town's water and sewer.
Well, I was gonna wait for the Herman Salvage project.
I just wanna follow up on what Glenn was saying, as far as the pool goes, they wanted to order a motor, they needed a motor for one of their pumps. So that was ordered last Friday, so they are starting to look into new equipment, because it's just, Ronnie had done so much work on that motor, that there's no more working on it, so he had to get a motor through our company. Yeah, and it ain't cheap stuff, I mean, we're talking $1,950 for that, so. You know, Glenn's right, they're gonna have to start looking at that and budgeting that ahead of time. And, you know, just preparing for the future, that's all.
They probably could have bought that motor out of the reserve funds last year, if they would have done it.
Yeah. If they
And it would have been here. What it is for a backup, because this thing could go any moment.
Yeah.
We've gone into it and put new wire nuts, and Ronnie's done different things to keep it going.
It did lose a phase last year, so it was kind of the icing on
It got really hot from losing one phase out of the three-phase motor.
Good.
So,
On another note, I wanted to thank Keith and Bart. They've been helping out the highway. They did a heck of a job cleaning, because that's no fun for anybody. Talk about vibrations. So I want to thank Keith and Bart for helping out the crew. They did an excellent job cleaning up town last week. And like I said, we've been trying to help out as much as we can. I say we have. It's been Keith and Bart really covering up, helping out Reed, because they all understand it. He's too young to be going through this, but, you know, we still have the work to get done. That's the problem. So I thank him a lot for that. I wanted to say that Keith well, I shouldn't say that, the water bills went out last Thursday. So, everybody should be happy and thinking of me when they get their bills. They are already starting to come in, which I'm happy for. I will say that they were coming out a little late. That was just because of some scheduling in the front office. But on our end of things, we were trying to maintain, keeping our 90 days as usual, so we know everybody's on a budget. They look for those bills and they want to be prepared for them. Hill project update, I'm happy to say that the last 2 weeks, we got all the temporary water in. So all has been installed for Fisk and Pike, Crow Hill, Grandview, and most of First Street. We did a cut and cap up there last Thursday, where we had to shut the water down for it was an hour and a half total. What that eliminated was the extra run over and extra temporary water we were able to run coming off the loop system of Cottage. So we didn't have to do a lot of extra work and a lot of money being spent on that temporary water, so it actually saved money for the project. So we're doing that now. They were able to start digging and running sewer pipe last Friday. In fact, they started getting ready. Today, I'm happy to say on Crow Hill, from Maple Street, they laid a pretty good amount of sewer pipe today. So we are putting pipe back in the ground, and we had some issues today, but if you would have seen some of the nuggets we were taking out of there, one was about the size of this table. And some of it was that ledge, believe it or not, but that operator and that machine is just breaking it apart. So it's almost like we're ripping it. It's just ripping apart, where that'll save on any blasting. Not to say that we're not gonna have some more, but they're gonna be starting drilling for that again to find out exactly what we may encounter. As always, we've got projects going everywhere. We're trying to get prepared for summer. Mowing of the grasses is gonna happen right away. The leach field's turning into a golf course already. Bart was out today working, and he's been diligently cleaning up winter gravel and stuff, so we don't do any damage to the blades. And so they've been really working hard at that. We're also getting prepared. We've got one hydrant we've gotta get in, which I've already talked to Glenn about. It's gonna require traffic control. It's right on Route 3, Lancaster Road. It's in a bad spot. We were supposed to do it last year, but we ran out of time. So that's basically my big project right now, is trying to get that done. It's gone on too long, you know. With a hydrant out, we still have a hydrant down that area, but God forbid if there was a fire there, I wouldn't feel right not having that done, so. We're gonna be looking at getting that done once Glenn can slow down a little bit. Like he said, we're a few weeks ahead now, but there's still a lot more to do. Other than that, it's just one thing after another. Mondays have been my worst nightmare lately. Seems like everybody waits, and then Monday morning I'm just killed with everything. It all works out, and as we're all aware, I'm working on some side projects that are taking some priority right now.
I'm happy, thank you very much. Kathy?
Just wanted to say a big thank you to Reggie, because that grate was replaced the next day. Kudos.
Thanks, Kathy. What'd they tell you?
Requested agenda items, Herman Savage Road project. Herman Savage Road project?
So we put out an RFQ requesting engineer firms to do the engineer study. Glenn can explain that far better than I can. For the Herman Savage Road project. The only two that responded were HEB, and the other one is out of Littleton, and the name off the top of my head is Wilson.
Weston and Sampson?
Yes, Western and Simpson. I don't know how the board wants to proceed at this point, so I brought those for informational for you guys to discuss it with Glenn, so that we can, because we've already filed an extension, and we have a fairly tight timeline with FEMA on this project, so.
So basically is what can be done. It's a hydraulic flow. To my opinion, and one of the, a couple of them from FEMA, the direction of the culvert needs to be turned, or the brook needs, we need to change the alignment some. So it's a complete engineering study, and they'll do a cost analysis whether we decide to go back with the same thing we had with wing walls, or the open box concept of open culvert with a cement box culvert, basically square or rectangular. Or you can go possibly, I'm gonna talk with the engineer, whether, to make some kind of a bridge, which you can put footings on, stay out of the channel, but come either side and put a 20 foot little bridge over it, and with decking on it, if you wanted to. And then just dig out and slope the walls and leave the original brook line where it is, and just basically opening up the opening of it is, to see, there's different avenues, but let the engineers figure out which would be the best.
How big of a culvert was the one that?
It's 6 foot.
It was a 6 foot culvert,
Yeah.
and was it blocked, or did the flow just wash?
The flow came up over the top of it and washed the top of the gravel and thing around it. The culvert never moved. And it took
There
that.
was so much flow,
Yep.
that it overwhelmed a 6 foot diameter culvert.
Yep.
Culverts are becoming a
Wow,
way of the
that's
past.
a lot of water.
Yeah, it was during that big storm.
Yeah, I remember when it was.
Yeah.
Alright, next question, do you have any experience with either of these firms?
Yeah, we're working with HEB on the sidewalk grant. Doing the replacement of the sidewalks. We've been working with them for.
Boy, they must be a long-term organization, that's been going on for decades.
It's, yeah.
I work in Weston Sampson, that's what I'm at right now too.
So
Alright, so.
either, the town has employed both firms, so.
Who's paying for this?
FEMA said that they cover this, the study, because this is the first part, so.
Okay.
So we haven't gotten any cost analysis of what the study is gonna inquire,
Well, wait a minute, we put out a request for proposals and we don't have.
No, we would put out a request for qualification was the first step.
Oh, okay. Well, so these two seem, we work with them, they're.
yeah,
qualified.
we've already dealt with them, so.
So what's the next step, Michelle?
The next step is for the board essentially to.
Pick one.
Pick one.
Pick
Glenn, pick one.
I don't.
But you
I mean,
work
I
with
can,
people.
what I can do is I can request, I can let the two of them know that they are, the only two, and the board wishes to seek, bids from both of them for the project.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
start there.
Sounds good to me.
I'd go with it.
Wayne, Jim?
Reasonable.
I think that, whoever you have the most confidence in, you ought to be dealing with, and that's the people that have been working with them. If they've got the most confidence in dealing with one or the other, if not.
Reggie has had more experience with the other firm.
Reggie, which one do you recommend?
Well, I will say that with Reggie, the old engineer for the DOT down here in Lancaster,
Yeah,
he's one of the engineers with Weston Sampson now, Jim McMahon.
Yep.
And he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, we
and
worked
he's
with
a
Jim.
local.
I don't know about HPE as far as what I've seen with the sidewalks.
Yeah, that's, all
So
their
if
stuff
you-
has been.
Weston is,
I would say go
if
with
you had a
that.
choice, you'd take Weston?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's what I did.
Obviously, somebody that has that kind of experience working for them, we're gonna be dealing with state access and all like that off of that.
Correct.
That might be.
That might help.
That's what I was thinking,
AGB hasn't done any water sewer with you, right, Reggie?
No.
They're sidewalks and
Yeah, I don't.
streets and some other
Right, that's
stuff.
why I can't speak on behalf of them, other than what I've seen with the just sidewalks.
Jim, do we need a motion to?
Yes.
I make a motion that we move forward with Weston and Simpson for the,
Sampson.
culvert on, whatever the street is,
Herman's Avenue.
And this is to do the design work.
Right.
Okay, I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion
I
passes.
need that, Jim, that's one of the
Next on the requested agenda matters is cell tower.
Yeah. What's that?
Wayne, you have something on the cell tower? or we just-
No, Winnie's down, she's got her final exams tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah, I do have some stuff.
You asked a question
Graduation.
at the last one. Does the town have the ability to ask for, funding? And talking with the NHMA lawyer,
You good?
RSA 676 answers that question. There is no dollar amount put in the RSA. It is, how do they put it? Basically, oh, right there. Shall require detailed invoices with reasonable task descriptions for services rendered. And upon request, the applicant, the planning board shall promptly provide a reasonably detailed accounting of expenses or corresponding escrow deductions. So, the planning board can ask, if I remember correctly, if they fail to supply the information to the planning board, they're denied. No ifs, ands, buts. That takes care of it. 676:4-B. Now, you also had a question on abutters not notified. Okay. Had a long talk with the attorney on this one at NHMA. And this is 676:4, section 1, subsections C1 and D1. Basically, it says the board shall go through, notify everybody. There's a whole list of folks other than abutters. And the problem is, no place in this whole 2.5-page RSA does it say anything about if they don't. There is no penalty listed in here of any kind, of any shape at all. So, at that point, the attorney said, you better have the planning board talk to its attorney. And, I said, well, that's the town's attorney. Well, then they better talk to that one. And as far as I understand, the town's attorney's been notified on this, and they're asking for documents At least I got that from Ron.
Yeah, there've been documents that have been sent to them, and, they're looking for a thumb drive of the minutes of the March 4th meeting, the recording of that. I'm gonna be in Concord tomorrow. If there's any way that I can expedite that and get that to him that would be any quicker than doing it through the mail, I'd be more than happy to try to do that.
I have a thumb drive, I'm just gonna Google Drive it to him.
Or whatever, however.
If
however
you
gets
want,
it.
I have a thumb drive in my office.
Is Malaguti in Concord?
No, Manchester. But I think we just-
Yeah, okay. Okay, that would get it to him quicker if he wants.
If that's fine?
Yep.
We can go over this evening after the meeting, and I can do that to you.
Basically, what it comes down to, guys, is, the lawyers have it now, or will shortly, after they try to figure everything out. In looking through the stuff and talking with the attorney, when I said, well, what about the clock, the shot clock? And they go, and the, attorney on the NHMA goes, that's the problem. Says, and the problem is not that it started, the problem is whether it should have started or not. And that's where there's no cut and dried information in the RSAs, and there should be. Not necessarily have a penalty in it, but at least cut and dried. If you shall do this and you don't, then this is what happens. But there's none of that in the whole darn thing, and I was wrong, it's not 2.5 pages long, that RSA is 3.5 pages long. So the lawyers are gonna have to argue that one out. And if it comes to in court, we'll have to see how that plays out. But, and that's gonna have to be when, NHMA doesn't give any, definitive rulings.
But what Michael Malaguti told me was, as soon as he gets a copy of that, he will review it, and then he'll give us some feedback on what he thinks we should and shouldn't do, or what we can do. And we'll just expedite it as quickly as we can. We've done quite a lot in the last week since our last meeting, trying to get a bunch of information together and get it off to him, and I'm sure he'll respond to us. I think he understands the concerns that we have, so.
And one recommendation I would make to the planning board members, do not use the word in any motion, complete, unless it darn well is. Because that, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the things that got changed in last year or the year before in planning board stuff. Once they say it is complete, that they accept the application, it is complete, that's what starts the clocks. That's why you don't use the word complete. We accept the application, yep, but it ain't complete yet. You don't even have to say that part. Complete is the one, from what I remember of that bill, that starts the clock going when the vote comes up.
With Malaguti, when he talked to Dodge about resetting everything and trying to get until the 13th of April to have this, May, to have this next planning board meeting, he specifically asked Dodge if that started the federal clock, okay? And Dodge, he replied to him that it started that until the 13th of May. So really and truly, we're not any farther along with that. All we've got is a few days extension. And that's one of the reasons we're trying to get all this information down to our town attorney so that we can get some feedback from him.
He's gonna do it quickly.
Chris?
Having been gone for a few months, where is this cell tower going?
Well, it's proposed out near the end of the Page Hill Road where it is the Lost Nation Road, in that area there.
Who owns the land?
Mr. Fortin.
David Fortin.
I don't know the guys, would change that. I may have met the guy, I have no recollection of it. Eric, you have your hand up?
Yeah, this is a question for you, Jim. You're a state rep, and you were saying there's problems with the law the way it's written. Could you get together with maybe Sean and introduce something to fix those loopholes and the problems in that law?
I can, but not this year, because everything's shut off. No new bills can go in, not until, I think current members can put stuff in September or October, and then newly elected people can do it, there's about a 2-week window, 3-week window in December.
All right, so I'll bring it up again then.
The problem that's been going on for the last 2 terms is at the beginning of each one, I think, last year, the House put in 1,400 bills. The Senate put in somewhere between, I think, 4 and 5. And then we just went a little bit smaller for the current session we're in right now, this current year. It's way too many. A lot of them are absolute, utter stupidity. And yes, that can be left in the minutes, Becky.
We expect that from the government, don't we?
No, actually it should. But a lot of the stuff is just plain stupid. Especially when you have 6, 7, 8 saying the exact same thing, just with minor word differences in them. So they've got to go through committee, they've got to be voted on the floor, whole darn thing. And if one of them gets through as a pass when all the others are killed, it then continues on. So, I mean, they've got to start thinking a little clearer and use a little more common sense, and never mind, oh, this is my pet peeve. Who gives a damn about your pet peeve? What about the people in the state? How's it gonna help all of them? And that's the kicker that right now they've been missing for several years. And I won't be there next year. This is it. And there's no begging that's gonna get me to do it again, and there's no begging that's gonna get me to do this again.
No, Jim, I think all of us in this room.
Quiet.
If you hit me in the head, my father proved it, you'll never hurt me. One more thing while we're talking about cell service, if I can, Mr. Chair. I'd like the board to remove me as the ex officio from the planning board, and I'll gladly take any other department, but I think at this time, that would be a wise move.
Wanna do it?
Sure.
Okay. Make a motion then to replace Apple with Wayne as the ex officio member, select board rep to the planning board.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. Nothing up there. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nobody. Okay. What two were you on before?
The Conservation Commission is probably the one that I think would work best for me to offer, because there's not a lot of energy really that can like stay there if I can.
Well, yeah, Wayne, I apologize for jumping this on you, but, you know, I think it's wise, but, you know, I mean, I'll take whatever you want.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm not trying to shirk my responsibilities, I'm just trying to do where I can do good.
Okay, I'll make a motion to take Wayne off the Conservation Committee and put Al on to be his replacement.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Nobody. Okay, that cleans that up.
Thank you, Wayne.
Is that a permanent move?
Yes.
I think at one of the other meetings, there was some conversation that by the 4th, there may be some feedback from Vertical Bridge as to if they were potentially looking at some other changes. I don't remember the specific words.
That's what they told us, remember that, you can't, that they were supposed to get something after the 4th for the revised, you know, because they said they were gonna go out and work hard on it. And if I can just, as you all know, I have a cell tower on my property in Connecticut. How I got the cell tower was there were, myself and my neighbor, Urban Eddie, were both had property that would work as far as the coverage. I worked diligently to make the install for the infrastructure for my property to be cheaper. And I got the cell tower. So my suggestion to you folks moving forward, again, I'm stepping back from this completely, but if it's possible, and we can go to vertical bridge with a location that meets their coverage details, but is cheaper to install, i.e. perhaps a town water tower or even the town forest, both of those have roads and power. That would be the best thing you could hope for. That's how I got it done, and I think it'd be a win-win if we could do it.
Michelle, we haven't gotten anything from Vertical Bridge, right?
I know Ronnie got updates, the last update was March 19th, I think.
Okay, that's another thing that came up. From Vertical Bridge, this is the telecommunications conditional use application, site plan review application. Document number 7, site plans revised, dated 3/19. Excuse me. How could that not have changed the clock? Just me asking. When that was voted on 3/4. How can you revise your site plan? And if the planning board hasn't seen it, then they'd have to decide whether it was a material change, a major change, or whether it's just we put a new comment in.
It's my understanding, and again, I haven't been completely involved in this. It's my understanding that after the March 4th meeting, they were told that they had to make some changes, or that there wasn't enough information in some of the application.
There was a lot of information missing. That's from an email from Dave DeGennaro.
And
Loads of stuff.
Yes.
that update on the 19th was a reflection of them being told that they needed to do more for it to go any further. That is how I'm understanding the information that I'm receiving.
Those are questions that have to go to Mike. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
just wondering if the members of the planning board have been briefed on the correct rules about what is and isn't a legal constituted reason to say yes or no to the bill, because at 2 public meetings, it says that like they have to say yes. The members of the board were saying that they had to say yes. And my understanding is that the law is different from that if given specific reasons why they can say no to the application, that there are reasons they can say no, but I haven't heard that the planning board has digested that information, and I'm just wondering, will they know that, or have they heard that before the 13th?
They should know on there that, okay, do you have a complete application? Now, I guess if there's a few parts that are missing, you can say it is complete, subject to them getting them. Like, one of the examples they give is something coming from the state, from DES, wetlands review or stuff like that. You don't have that in here yet because the state works at their own time frame. That's okay. But from one of the emails in this packet here, there were 2 or 3 things missing from section 1. From section 2 had another couple. From I think it was section 5, there were 7 or 8 items missing completely. It's like, excuse me, I don't know how many items were in each of those sections, but that struck me as you're probably darn close to 50% in there. How can this be substantially complete? And you're not accepting it yet. You haven't completed the application. Bring in the rest of the stuff we told you needed to get. Fine. You haven't said no. You haven't said yes. You've told them, get the whole thing in one piece. And then yes, we do have to make a decision on it once it comes in. And that will start a clock. But until that point, There's nothing that says in any of the RSAs I looked over, it says you have to make a choice when it's first presented to you. You haven't presented it in complete format. Do that. We will hold on to what you gave us. Get the rest of the stuff in here. That should be known because that's no different for you building a house and a site plan review, and you don't have it marked out where your water and sewer is coming from. Yet you're on a water sewer line. Okay, fine, you gotta put that in. Where's your driveway going in? Where are you planning to go in, whether you got the permit for it or not? Those type things. These things should be here and in it. And from what I read in, I don't remember which one of the emails it's in there. There was a whole bunch of stuff. And Mark had it lined right out, all the various parts that were missing. And it's like,
So,
just from what I was reading in the email, that's telling me it's not substantially complete, but I'm not on the board.
right, I just wanna clarify, have the voting members of the board been briefed on their legal right to reject or accept the application?
I think part of what we're doing right now is an attempt to try to verify all of that.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons I'm suggesting that we get that information to our town attorney, because he's ultimately gonna make that call, and then we can all sit down together and say, this is where we're standing, you know?
And that would be the 13th?
No, it'll be before that. With a little bit of luck, we'll know that before the week's up.
The chairman, Nicole, I think been on the planning board for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, okay, 5. Sean Durkin's been on it for a few years. The longest serving member on the board was Jim Whittle. And he left just after March town meeting. And he'd been on it, I think.
I'm number 2 behind Jim,
A long time.
and I've been on for a decade or so. And, there should be more training, because there's never been any training, and there were times to go for training, but, life didn't let me go, and, we're dealing with volunteers, and we're working against seasoned professionals. So, I think that, hopefully Wayne will,
Well, we've shared an awful lot of information with Michael Malaguti, okay? We've shared some information on some correspondence, some written correspondence between some members of the board that are important. We need to get the recording of the minutes that we have to him. He and I had a short conversation about that today, and he said, unless there's something really different in the recorded minutes, it looks like nobody really intended for this to be the beginning of a full-blown operation. But the process isn't quite complete yet, but it soon will be. I don't know how reassuring that is, but he's.
Hopefully not butt heads, if they can come to an arrangement and go from there.
Yeah.
Do you need this back to give him, or does he have all this?
He's got a draft that was sent to him.
And when you say we'll all have a chance to sit down together, are you speaking about the folks supporting the planning board at town hall?
When we know where we are, we'll share with you where we are. I mean, it's important for us to work together. We all got the same common purpose and benefit of the community. And I mean, there aren't gonna be any secrets about this. We'll let you know where we stand. Or I will.
any other questions? Moving on, town business, police, CRF transfer.
How much are we looking to move, Michelle? Or do we need to get Kyle?
We are gonna have to talk to Tyler about that. I do not know what his upfit cost is. I know the cruiser was 55, but I don't know what the upfit cost was. He was looking at several options, and I don't know what he decided upon. He had a call.
Oh, yeah, he had to take off.
Yeah, and he took off with lights and sirens, so I don't know what's going on.
Gail, my wife, chair of the trustee of trust funds, and she stopped in and talked to the chief, on Saturday, and, I believe her and the chief have an understanding, and again, this is hearsay in the car, I think they're supposed to have it all together for Thursday. It's going to be, the Chevy Tahoe vehicle and the, fixtures that are bolted into the vehicle. In other words, the, light bar, all the stuff that's attached to the vehicle. There are other things like the laptop and, stuff that can be just taken out of the vehicle, which do not qualify for the, CRF, which is for a cruiser. A Chevy Tahoe by itself is not a cruiser. It needs all this other stuff bolted to it. So I think the chief and, my wife seem to have an understanding, and I'm married 53 years, I said, yes, dear. But I think later in the week we'll have that answer, and then we can get it signed.
So we can't vote on it today. Nance?
As one of the trustees, we have a meeting once the figure has been given to us, and
Right, that's what Gail said. I think she's got it scheduled for like a Wednesday or something.
we have it on Wednesday.
Gail said Tuesday that we couldn't do it because she had to put out a 24-hour notice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 'cause it's gotta go to you first, and then the trustees of the trust fund, then it comes to the select board, right? The other way?
No, it's,
No,
we need the numbers from him
we
so we
need the
can vote
numbers.
on them, and then it goes to them, for them to pay it. Or
Once we
transfer it
guarantee
over.
that it's in the CRF
Yep,
and the figures that we get, then we can
Yeah.
approve it.
and I know the computer can't be, but whatever the computer sets on or plugs into, because that's in the vehicle or is attached to it, that can be. But the actual laptop can't be, because that can be taken right out of the vehicle.
Right, the guns and the other stuff
Correct.
that's not screwed to the vehicle, which makes perfect sense. Those are light fixtures. They're part of the building.
So, if I may, so the cage, gun rack, the mount for the laptop, which we have, I believe we already have from previous vehicles.
Yep.
The Habis mount for the laptop, it's more so the cage, lights, sirens that would have to be, and we already have the laptop as well.
Do we replace the backseat?
I can't remember if the back seat is already, because it's a cruiser edition, I can't remember if it's already plastic or not.
If not, I hope, we need to look at that, because the plastic ones, hey, the hose works.
Yes.
We definitely would need that. Eric?
On the last cruiser, they had to put the back seat in, the plastic with the seat belts and stuff. That was an extra cost on the cruiser when they bought that.
We gotta look and make sure that's included in there.
Yes, like I said, I know that Kyler, or Chief, was looking at several different options as to being able to keep the cost for the upfitting down.
Okay, we can't vote on that one, so,
No,
next.
but it's coming. Next item is moving EMS. Jim?
So, I guess Kyler was approached about meeting down in the office there. There's been, I guess, some suggestions made, but I just need to throw out there that wherever I'm put, I need a file room that is locked, I need to have an office that is locked, so I cannot be moved just somewhere. Temporarily, I have people already starting to move stuff upstairs. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can going up and down the stairs, but, it's something, and I think we were around then, we talked about this a long time ago at a town meeting for a new building and getting this all straightened out. We're currently sitting on 1.2 million grant we're not doing anything with. I think it's time again we start looking at a building and figuring this stuff out.
We're gonna have to do that. As far as moving in, when you say you need an office that can be locked and a file room that can be locked, can 2 rooms be one?
2 rooms, no, it has to be a separate locked file room. That's why we need the room upstairs with the 10 by 12 room. And it has to be only accessed, because somebody's like, well, you just put it in the town vault. It has to be only accessed by me, because it's medical records and stuff that
Sure.
can't be for public.
How big an office you need?
I could probably get away with smaller, the office space, and just enough for a desk, computer, stuff like that. The file room, I could probably do smaller than the 10 by 12 I have upstairs. Originally, we had looked at, and that's the other thing, we had looked at moving upstairs over there, before my back injury. And that little closet that was up there that Tammy had in that room there, was gonna put filing cabinets, and we put a lock on it, and that was gonna work for that. The other thing that has to be considered when I move physical space, I have to reapply for positioning for Medicare, Medicaid, for a physical address. So that means I will be unable to bill while that process is going on.
Oh shit, that thing takes a long time.
Takes anywhere from 90 to 120 days. So,
Okay, suggestion. Let's take a look at putting a wall up. When you go into the conference room, just past the side door that goes into the town clerk's office space. Just barely past it, right up to the frame. That can be his file room. He can have the part in front of it. We turn the locks around on the door that goes into the town clerk's office, so that it's gonna have to be a double lock, one on each side, so only a key can get into it. He won't have the key from his side, and she won't have the key from her side to get into his side. It's just gotta be completely separated. And the same thing with the door going up the stairs to the second floor that's in that office.
Which means that the supervisors of the checklist are gonna have to use the outside staircase,
Well,
which
that's-
we may have to look
Which
at.
are miserable in the winter.
Well, okay, we've got until November to figure out how to fix that up there, so it can be done. But you can't go up and down stairs. Well, let's put it this way, you probably can because you're obstinate and stubborn.
yeah.
I know.
How long I can do that?
That's the kicker.
Yes.
So, if that will fit and work for you, we'll see about putting a permanent wall in. And just set it up that way, nothing spectacular. And do it that way for him, and you can have that. You've got a ramp to go up, and it's handicap accessible for any of your customers that come in.
Customers, yeah.
There's go around to the backside and all that. All right.
If you close that door off and there was a fire in the building, how would the person upstairs get out, since there's only one entrance way up to the second floor? They have to come in through the outside to get to the second floor. If there was a fire on that stairway, how would they get out if the door was locked?
If the door was locked and they had to get out because of a fire, look into an emergency window ladder, the kinds that just roll down, because there's windows in the front office that's on the second
Those
floor.
windows are up to here.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not
They're
down
not
low
the
enough for
3
us
foot
to climb
height,
out
it's
the
3
inside.
foot.
I don't think there's,
It would have to have a ladder on the inside for us to climb up to get out those.
and then there's certain size egress windows by code. Can I make a suggestion? How about if I work with the town administrator and we come up with a layout, we'll tape it out on the floor, and then everybody can look at it and come up with what we think?
Okay.
Because, you know, it's a,
That's reasonable, but I believe the window size also has to do primarily with bedrooms. And this
but
would
if
not
we're
be
using
a
it as an
bedroom.
egress, I believe it would be the same code. I'd have to check with Andre, but, you know, if you gotta climb out of it.
He's right there.
Didn't see you. Tell us the answer, sir.
Well, it's any occupiable space. Doesn't have to just necessarily a bedroom, it's gonna be like a public space occupied.
So the egress standards would apply.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Take a look and
like I
see.
said, if I work, okay, I'll work with the administrator and we'll come up with it, and I'll get everybody to take a look at it, and we'll see if we come up with the best way to shuffle the space so that it works as best it can. Sound like a plan? Okay with you too, Wayne?
That's fine.
All right, I'll keep everybody,
And just remember, this is a town full of Scottish people. We make pennies scream. Yes, ma'am.
Quick question, you do that, where are you moving the assessors to? Because they cannot have access to that back room if Kathy's not in her office.
right,
But I wouldn't expect them to be there at any other time. I don't think they're gonna come at, time when we're not in.
I wouldn't expect them to. They have remote access now so that they can do data entry.
Do the work that
as
way.
well.
I mean, all they get told now is, if nobody's in the office, let's say Thursday afternoons, then that's it. But if Kathy or, Mel are in there, that's fine and dandy. They should be able to go in there, but if they leave, they gotta go. Yes?
you had mentioned something about a lot of money that's on the table from a grant as an expiration date.
Yeah, one of the things that's been mentioned is, when the, car wash gets demolished, there had been a design done, I believe by Mike Phillips, or somebody he knew did it, to put an addition on the backside of the office building. Now, his was for a, paper,
paper makers hall.
yeah, paper maker's hall that would have been used in place of this room here. Well, that paper maker's hall, instead of being a hall, might be better used as office space and other things to possibly put all of, you guys in it with possibly a, long single garage, a two vehicle garage where you come in the driveway, pull into it, and you only go out to Mechanic Street and on your calls. And when that happens, somebody, whoever's left in the office goes out and moves the other truck forward, so when you come back in, you pull in behind it. And two of them are indoors to where they would be, warmed for the winter. And that's all we've got now, right, is two?
Just the two, yeah.
Okay, so, and that should fit in there, to where they should be able to still get around them and the door's closed. Just make them extra tall.
If you'd like, I'll work on, with all the people and try to come up with a sketch. I know what Mike had,
We've still got a copy of that someplace, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I have some
Mark
upstairs.
Robinson and I
Mills, I believe
had
that was the one he had designed that or had designed it.
Mark Robinson and I worked up a design without the paper maker's hall. I'll see if I can find that, but I got a kind of an image of it. I'll work on it and I'll get back to the board with, what we think of. I believe the grant money we have, expires at the end of this year.
I think you're right, so we would have to commit relatively quickly.
Right.
And
I'll get on it.
one thing for you to do, if you would please, is check the grant and see if there's any of the blankety-blank federal language in there that says you have to have it done by a engineer, building engineer, architectural engineer, whatever the hell we have to do for, putting the floor in over there in the current town office, that you can park a Abrams tank on and it will not crash through, guaranteed.
I'll work on the plans and I'll keep everybody.
Nancy, your hand's been up.
Just a question, I'm assuming that Jim will be part of this group that's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna have everybody in the town, ambulance, and Andre, I'll lean on you for code, because you know more about it than I do. And, town office, and with Michelle, with the assessors, and everybody, we need something that'll function. Right now, we're limping along, and, we have, he can't act, we got the second floor, we got a big room up there. It's real hard to use, you can't get up there. So let's see if we can maximize the space we have, And if and if we do need to put on addition, make it a small, but would need to cover the ambulance, because I believe that, did you find out about that, new fire truck?
Haven't heard anything yet.
But, you know, it's real tight. Those ambulances are what, 2 inches apart when they're parked in there?
They're not even apart, they bumper to bumper.
They're bumper to bumper, so, you know, we're real tight.
Jerry, you had your hand up, sorry.
Where is EMS located now?
Upstairs here.
Second floor over the PD.
Oh,
Yeah,
why do we need to move them is my question, I guess.
Well, one, he can't go up and down stairs.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Okay,
That's the main thing, and if he's over there, if the rest of them can come along too, that solves it, and then we just have to figure out, this place and that there, if something comes up that, let's say, doesn't cost as much.
I was just curious, I
Yep.
didn't know we couldn't walk downstairs.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way, he's not supposed to.
Well, that's not gonna stop him.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
All right, moving on, town business maps, information.
Let me see what's in here.
That's gonna be the mitigation plan.
Okay, nope. This is for Rami to put on to last week's minutes,
Okay.
okay? Don't need that one. So there's nothing in here on maps informational, is that this?
Yes, that's your mitigation plan. That's the final version approved. The reimbursements have been sent, to the state so that we can get reimbursed for the $9,000 that we have spent to put that all
Okay.
together. I wanna thank, it was in the works before I started, so I wanna thank all of the department heads that previously, worked on it.
Is this the questionnaire stuff?
The office staff, there was a ton of people that were involved in that.
No, this is the new one, has to be redone every 5 or 10 years.
5.
5 years, yeah.
Supposed to be. This one wasn't.
All right, what do we
Yeah.
need? Do we need a motion to approve?
I think it's already been
It's
approved.
already been approved, I just wanted you guys to see that we had gotten the final
So
version
that's it.
back from them, and there was a letter, attached to it that, like I said, it was addressed to you gentlemen, and I did not open it.
All right, is this online at all? Michelle?
I do not believe that there's, like, on our website. No.
Yeah. I mean,
That
this
is
is a
not-
book filled with pretty pictures, with questions that Jim and I were on, where it asks, you know, with this type of hazardous event coming, how likely do we think it's going to happen, how do we respond? There's a lot of interesting information. Is this something that could be put onto the website, so if anybody wanted to, spend some evenings browsing through this,
I can contact her and see if she has an electronic copy so we can
well,
upload it.
there's a thumb drive here in the back.
Okay, I haven't even opened it, it came in a
Well, I'm
box, I
saying, if
took
it's
it out of the
possible.
box to bring to you guys.
I think it'd be nice to be on the town website
Yeah.
because, you know, nobody's gonna look at it if it's hidden and you can't find it.
Well, I don't know if, like with some places with like your emergency operation plans, procedures, I don't know if they're similar. You don't want somebody to know how you're gonna react to a certain situation. So I don't know if it's something, if there's information in there that you want to be published, that's something that I would.
Well, that's an excellent question. I don't know. I don't remember anything that said,
Let's review it before we make that decision.
Tell you what, just make a quick phone call to, Homeland Security down in Concord.
Or at least the lady that helped put that all together, and just ask her
Yeah.
to see
She
if
may
it's.
have an answer to it.
yeah, 'cause I mean, emergency
It's supposed to be a working.
response facilities, ERF.
Right.
And then it lists, Weston Dam and solar panels, low hazard,
Right.
Red Dam, non-menace.
Yeah, so that simply tells the bad guys,
That type of
These
stuff.
are the easy targets, these are the harder ones.
I just hope, like I say, I think that if we can get it so it's available, I think it'd be good. We'll have to look into what, your concerns are, cause I hadn't considered that.
Oh. Hey
I
guys,
don't remember
I know we had stuff in there on Murphy Dam.
hey fellas, missed this one, was buried. Amount of my request for transfer to from town accounts. Police, name of applicable trust fund, police cruiser, amount of transfer, $75,000. Date of meeting authorizing transaction, April 6th. Okay,
That was the figure I had heard.
well, it's here with the minutes, and this is from Ronnie for us to sign.
Well, I guess I got it wrong for my wife again.
No?
I make a motion to sign.
Okay.
I'll second that.
I think
Any-
I just saw the cruiser come back in. Maybe.
Maybe?
Any more discussion, questions?
Well, Deb said maybe,
Maybe he came in.
maybe he just came in.
We'll give him a minute to come in here.
Table that motion.
Yeah, now what's this thing here? Okay, this is that letter, there's nothing for us to sign on it. It's 3 copies of it.
What letter?
The letter that's that one. That can go there, so next. Non-resident transfer station. Okay. And this one is,
You want me to do the talking?
you know, we gotta remember on these. Good, that one's done. This one's coming off, you're not done. This one's a renewal. Ah, this one's a renewal. This one's a renewal. This one's a renewal. I dig it. Ah, chief.
Sir.
Did you talk with somebody from, the trustee of the trust funds concerning a withdrawal from the police cruiser fund in the amount of $75,000?
Yes,
And that is the correct number?
correct.
Okay then. Now,
Motion to approve?
Second.
motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Okay. Okay, Becky? These are the, non-resident transfer stations. First one is map and lot 251-013. What the hell?
I've got 2 by that number.
Yep, me too.
Yeah.
Then you missed the first one.
So it's either a typo or it just was duplicated.
No, I got a hunch what this one's for. 2 people who possibly own the property, reside together, whatever. They want a sticker, I'm gonna guess, for each car, each vehicle. Cause they both paid $15
Yeah, it's semicolon too.
for it. So, there's a second one at 251-013. Then the next one is 237-025.
Yep.
And then the next one is, what the heck?
Yeah, the first one.
The next one is, I believe,
You just gave it that.
just gave it a, this one says multiple lots. But they are all renewals. The last one is for Richard Dupy. The one before is for Mark Yell at the Potato Barn. The other one, the next one is Michael Francis at Longview Drive, and the other one is Diane Crone at Longview Drive. Those are all renewals, so
They've all been paid?
all been paid.
I make a motion to approve the non-resident transfers as listed.
I'll second that.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I also just sent an email to the lady who did the hazard mitigation thing,
Yeah.
asking the question of, can they be put on the website
Right.
in its entirety? Or does, certain items need to be stricken from it before it can be put on the website?
Okay.
Right.
June, I don't know.
Okay, now, the other one, since we don't know if it's a renewal or a new one, this is James Petty and Heather. It could be Grace or Brack. Map and lot is 234-012. They're from Pottersville, New Jersey, and the property they have is on 907 Lost Nation Road.
Fees been paid?
Fees been paid.
Motion to approve?
I'll second that.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
So is that one a renewal too, or? a
It's
new?
not marked. I've got no idea which what it is. That's why it was done separately. There's that. Next.
Somebody is looking up here.
Put this under this, Jim.
On top of it, and then just flip it on there. Okay. This one here, late arrival. Yeah, I ran into this guy in there, and he didn't know anything about renewing it, and we were past the, March 31st deadline to renew it when he was, last in there. And I said, stick it in anyway, and we'll see what the board says. He had one. This is for map and lot 246-028-00-00. Sean Gregg, Page Hill Road. And he is doing dry cabin, a small 200 square foot cabin, dry, no plumbing, only electric will be hooked up. Map was provided and approved under permit 2025-32. So,
And this guy's out of town, right? He lives in someplace else.
no, this is a zoning permit.
Yeah. But I'm saying is, he's a resident or is he?
Yeah, I believe so.
He's a flatlander like me.
Well, that I can't answer, I don't know. Says he's a
Resident?
mailing address, 359 Page Hill Road.
Right on the corner of Page Hill Road.
Okay. So, according to this, the code official has not signed it,
I hadn't seen it.
and what he's basically, what this is for here now, it's basically looking for a renewal, so he's, do we waive the fee or not? That is the question.
He says he paid it once.
He paid it once when he got the first permit. He didn't realize he could extend the permit for an additional year. And he came in and asked, and it was a year too late. It was a month too late.
I was gonna say,
I-
you're too late, I'll give you the answer.
I think we should, I mean, he paid it once, made a mistake, he was off by a month. I think we should waive it. And, because if he doesn't get his 200 square foot thing done by the end of the next one, then he'll have to pay it.
Yep.
I mean, this is a big project, right?
So, you making a motion?
I make a motion that we sign the permit and waive the fee.
I second that.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Now, question, Reggie, up where this address is, is there water and sewer out there?
Oh, that was a whole other topic, no. No,
I mean, I know there's a small water
no.
thing out there, but there's nothing there. Okay, fine.
Nope, there's the Allen Gale water and sewer system.
No, we had a conversation with this gentleman.
You need to sign.
Yeah, I
here.
know.
So I've gotten an email back from Judy Rhino.
Yep.
She says that the entire digital plan can go on the website. There's no phone numbers, no personal phone numbers or sensitive information. The entire hazard mitigation process is meant to be public. It is the emergency operations plan, however, that is not recommended to be put on the website.
Okay. Next one is map and lot 237 -02. Okay, Adrian Reyes, 789 Lancaster Road, and what's he wanna do? Install 28 by 30 foot prefabricated metal garage.
Right. I've called and left a message with this gentleman.
Yep.
Go to the next page. Here's, the lot is big enough, but I called and left a message asking what is the distance from here to here. It's a 20-foot setback, but there's no scale. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's good, but we just need him to tell us what this distance is, because it's behind the setback of the house, so you're good there. So it's just a side lot clearance, and I would make a motion to approve pending getting that dimension.
Is this the street here?
I think so, yeah.
So, you wanna wait until we get
No,
that?
I think we should approve it, and, he's already paid the bill, with, and I've called and left another message recently, and, we have Rami, see if you can contact him, we've got an email address. I make a motion to approve pending, the final, location of the proposed garage.
I'll second that.
Hold on. Yeah, Chris?
How many times have you tried to contact him?
I called twice and left a message.
And how far apart were these?
End of the week and, this afternoon.
And he hasn't gotten back to you?
Well, there were some phone calls that I didn't catch, but they didn't seem to have the right number. So he may have tried calling from another number, and I didn't catch him. So, we've got our old guy with a smartphone here. I'm gonna see if Rami can catch him. Yeah, I'm not, it may well have been on this end that I didn't catch it, because, never mind. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Nobody. Still gotta sign this one.
Yeah, I didn't sign it because of that. All right, so we're conditional on, dimensions.
Yep. On the setback. Okay.
Can you put in your notes for the next meeting to bring that up again, to see if he has gotten back?
Okay. That's not this guy. No. I'm trying to figure it out. Since no fee's been paid.
Well, received today.
Oh,
I haven't seen it either.
well, there's no fee.
I recommend we table it until we get the money.
At least
If they paid it, then it'd be.
she should have put on here. She didn't write any note up there.
What's the last name on that one?
Okay, first off, it's map and lot 229002. Jude or Judy,
Yourself.
Gessel,
Gessel?
Jude Gessel,
Okay,
he called Reggie at 9:00ish or so this morning for questions.
What are they looking at?
I saw that.
maintenance due to neglect, replace joists that need, replacement, and dry wood, change window, reside, remove, gamble beam.
Is there a phone number?
Yep,
How about if we table it, I'll give him a call, or her a call, and see if I can figure out what's going on,
that's good.
and get paid, and then we'll go from there, okay?
I was pissed.
Make a motion to table it until we figure it out.
Second?
Motion has been made, seconded to table, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Let me take this, and I'll bring it back tomorrow, that way
Okay,
I'll be in town.
now, the next one here is veterans credit. No names. Okay. 214 was done. Okay. Okay, since we need a motion to sign it, everything is here.
I make a motion to sign the veteran's application credit.
Okay,
Second that.
okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed? Nobody. Okay. Did I give you a map and lot on that one, Becky?
Which one?
The veterans credit?
There's four, I've got four different numbers here.
Okay, hold on, I'll give you one
You got
before.
all four.
Have you got four applications?
I haven't counted them yet.
Four.
The first one here was. Map 104, lot 037.
Okay,
Next one is map 107, lot 001.
alright,
And this
Oh,
one,
he's been checked.
yep, PD form 214. Letter's been done. Everything seems to be correct on this one also.
Motion to sign the veteran's.
I'll second that motion.
so you already did a motion once.
Not on this one.
Oh, so you're doing,
The other one was done and we voted on it and signed it.
okay, so you're doing them all separate?
Yeah. Motion's been made and seconded on this one. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nobody. Yep. Okay. Number 3, Becky.
Yep,
Oops, wait a minute. Hold on, what's this one? Yeah.
Different form, same on the back.
It's the same one.
It's not husband and wife?
No, Damn good question. Just give me a minute.
The second one, it's 107-00, that's all that's on the paper, on the agenda.
This, number 3 is 107-001, the same as the one I just gave you.
There is two, no, 00.
Yeah.
101, Jim, and the other one 00.
Yeah, see?
Somebody used a typo on here.
Oh, then
You got 107-001, then 107-00.
right?
Yeah, but there's only one problem.
What's that?
Should be 3 numbers there.
Well, that, but the other thing is, you can only get one of these.
That's what I thought.
No, no.
You cannot get it on every single property you own.
Oh, no.
No.
You can, if you have two veterans.
Two veterans, yeah, but when both names filled in here are the exact same name,
Oh, no, you can't do that.
just in different order. I think this is the male on the top line, female on the second line, female on the top line, male on the second line.
So it sounds like they're applying for 2.
Now, they may both be veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't fill it out right.
That could
Twelve
be.
50 Church Street.
Yeah, okay, hold on a minute. This may take a little bit. Two vets.
The same number, right?
Well, that's the DD form 214, that's the form that you get when you come out. Both of them came out honorably. Thing is, this one came out in 2025, this one came out of service in 2022.
Yeah, so
Two different people. They can get them.
Same family.
Yep.
So,
Print your name over here.
oh, I didn't do that right.
Okay, so,
You want your name printed over here too?
you want to print it, otherwise Robbie will do it for me. Since we'll be able to read the printing anyway. Okay, here's another one. Same address and everything else. Same, map and lot. All the paperwork's there. So, they both are service members. So, need a motion.
Motion to approve? Approve both of them?
We already did a motion to approve this one.
Okay, motion to approve the other one, I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Whoop, okay, hold it. Yep,
Are they doing 2 different properties?
one property, but each vet can get one.
Well, I know that, but it's for 1 property, not 2.
Right.
Because initially you said 2 properties.
Well, that's what I thought it was until I looked at the map and lot when I recognized the names were identical.
Okay, thank you.
So that second one should be 001 as well.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nobody. Last one is map and lot 226. Looks like 006.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay. Okay, paperwork's all here? Yeah. DD form 214 was done, okay? Need a motion?
Motion to sign.
Yep.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. There you go. Okay. This is a tax abatement for map and lot 249-011-00-00. And this is sent back from, I'm going to guess NP, she left. Okay.
Michelle?
Is NPV our new assessor?
What is it that you're looking at?
Abatement?
No, that's still the same assessor that we've had. It's
The lady that was in your office before.
Northland, Northern Property Valuations, Northland's Property Valuations.
Okay, this is for the 2025 tax year. It is for 1196 Lancaster Road. Based on the above information, I am recommending that board approve this abatement application and reduce the assessed value from $304,640 to $294,440 for the 25 tax year. So,
Make a motion to approve the abatement.
okay.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Oops, wait a minute. Yep, this one's with it. Let's see what this is. This goes with it too. And here is another one. And this is for map and lot 104, 105-00-00. Uh, 84 Hillside Avenue. Okay, based on the above information, I am recommending the board approve the prorated abatement application for the 25 tax year and reduce the assessed value from $141,400 to $81,795.
Make a motion to approve the abatement.
Where is that, Jim? On Hillside Avenue?
Yep.
Well, that's pretty big difference.
So, motions were made and seconded, okay? Nothing out there, all those in, motions made second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. And next one is map and lot 215-001-02-00. And this is for 235 Cumberland Street. Based on the above information, I am recommending the board approve this abatement application and reduce the assessed value from $272,230 to $213,280 for the 2025 tax year.
I make a motion to approve the abatement.
I guess I'll second that.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. public comment?
Just a question, what's the occupancy limit for this room? Do we know?
53,
Something like that.
And what's the policy if you have a meeting and more than that number of people would show up?
the floor falls through.
In addition to that.
We hope if there's a meeting that way, that it's a sunny day out, it goes outside. Otherwise, it has to be canceled. We cannot stuff more than that in here. So, I mean, and we do not have a facility that we can just go to. Yeah, the town office building, if we open all the doors, and people stand in there, in all the offices, and whoever's talking shouts, we might be able to get maybe 80 people in there.
I think we counted the number of chairs to meet the number on the wall.
Okay, I'm just curious.
If you're thinking you're gonna need more space than that, you're gonna have to give a lot of notice to Michelle. And then we see, okay, is the high school gym available? If not, is St. Francis Hall available? Something like that. I can go talk to Father Dan.
I don't think they can use it for this one. Carter Hall possibly.
Which one? Carter Hall? Yeah.
Yes, we do.
St. Francis Hall, as long as we put up the insurance, and we're covered for that. And as long as it's not a pro-Trump rally, I think it would be allowed. But, other than that, I don't think Father Dan would have a problem. He would have to go to the bishop, so it would take.
But I thought it's because it wasn't safe in there, that's what my understanding was. There's things in there needs fixing, that's why they haven't had anything in there for a very long time. Is it not?
No, the reason there hasn't been anything in there in a very long time is because they're not. And the ones who used to do all the stuff in there and run all the Christmas stuff and everything else was the nuns. Nobody has stepped up since they left to run everything.
They did for a little while.
They did for a little while and then they quit. It
I
became
think
too
it
much
was
for the folks.
2020.
Yeah.
That's when everything kind of went south.
But no, as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with the facility.
Okay.
Because,
They just won't sell it.
yeah, but a Head's up there, isn't it?
Right.
They're on the second floor, Head Start. Okay. Eric?
At the last meeting, we talked about the covered bridge again, and the town manager wasn't available then. Have we looked into getting more grants for that since then? I know it's been a busy week with the cell tower stuff going on.
As far as the grants for the bridge, no, we haven't looked into anything. I wasn't made aware that that was something that we were going to be looking further into when I wasn't here for that meeting. But certainly, I can look into seeing if there's, I also have it on my list to look in to see if there's anything that we can do as far as the repairs that, the gentleman earlier were talking about needing at the pool as well. So I'll just add that to the list and see if we can find some grant money for the bridge as well.
I know, because it's one of the first things you see coming into town, and it's been looking horrible for at least 10 years.
No, I agree, and I know that there's been a lot of talk over the years, to look into doing something with it. I don't know if, where it's not used, it was my understanding that because it's not used for traffic, you can't get it, there's.
You can't get DOT ones.
Right.
But the thing is that the other problem it's got is lead paint. That thing would have to be, yeah, but it's gotta be, the river's gotta be protected from anything falling into it.
Yeah.
And that's where the expense comes into it. At one point, one of the projects that was being looked at was lifted off the concrete abutments on the end, put it over on the mill property, and I'm pretty sure we had permission from the mill property's owner to do that. Do the stripping there where it was on the ground and reset the abutments, because both ends, I believe, are going this way. So this would make it also quite a bit stronger. and then pick it up and put it back there, on there. That can be done now since the sewer pipes aren't attached to it any longer.
Yeah, I know when Tammy was here, they were talking about a $5 million grant that she was able to find, and then she also was talking about another grant because of historic preservation stuff that she was looking into getting, and then she left before anything was finished, and
Yeah, the
here
$5
we
million
are a couple years later and nothing's still being done.
The $5 million one, that was a specific one from, I've got no idea what the name of the company was, but they make sort of like Trex, but it's closer to wood than Trex is, and it is approved for vehicular traffic. So you could make a actual car and truck bridge out of this wood product, and it would handle traffic without it necessarily having to be, only one at a time going that way and one at a time coming this way. It could take it.
It's a little narrow for two-way traffic.
Yeah, but the old bridge is, but I mean, this is what was gonna fix it, set it up there, and we'd still be able to use it for the snowmobilers and the ATVs that use it.
Yeah, another concern is that's covered with lead and paint, it's flaking paint, it's going into the river.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So at what point does it become negligent that we're harming the environment and the EPA gets involved because you're not maintaining the structure?
As far as I know, the EPA doesn't get involved on that until we do something that knocks the paint off. And then we suddenly became at fault because now they can turn around and say, you gotta pay for it. Jerry?
Do we know for 100% certainty that there's lead paint on that bridge? Has it been tested?
I believe it has been.
Twice, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Nancy? Just a second, Nancy.
My ultimate problem. Knowing that the minutes of these meetings do not have to wait to your signatures to be posted, as long as it says draft on it. Why can't we get these meetings in a timely manner?
They're posted on the website.
They are not, I still can't get it. And mine comes in on the emails. I can't even get it going direct. But when the
And I don't know
emails,
if ours says draft, Nancy, or if it says unapproved, which means the same
It
thing.
says draft in the heading, because that's how I set it up.
Okay.
Yeah, when I
and
send it.
that can go immediately.
Yep.
Because you will then have time if you want to sign it when
Yep.
it's done. So I don't know why it can't be done within 2 or 3 days from the meeting. It is posted at the library, but she hasn't had a chance to come in.
It's a different topic. I can wait.
Yeah, especially.
No, you can, I'm looking on the website, so.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanna make sure that you are all aware and invited that while we're sharing information and making sure that we are as informed as possible, that this Saturday, there will be a public event on cell phone towers and their effects by one of the 13 members who are on the New Hampshire Commission. Dr. Kent Chamberlain is presenting at In the Woods at 3 o'clock on Saturday. So please, in the interest of our shared education, everyone's invited to come so we can all be better educated about the effects of cell phone towers, and there'll be a question-answer session when he's finished. He will be zooming in because he's actually coming on the 13th, and he'll only come up here once, but it's an opportunity for us all to learn.
Do you expect more than 50 people here on the 13th?
That's a
I
good
don't know, that's
question.
why I
It's
asked the
possible.
question, because if we have this meeting on Saturday, the night, whatever it is, it may spur more people to want to come listen and see what's going on. Maybe the other side of the story, I don't know that, that's why I asked the question.
But where were you having your meeting?
No, we're having it In the Woods.
Okay.
On Saturday.
On Saturday.
3 o'clock.
Hold on, he's first. Jerry?
That's $75,000 you were talking about for the PD.
Uh-huh.
Is that just to outfit our newest cruiser?
No, that's,
The purchasing and outfit.
that's the cruiser and outfitting it.
Oh, the full package.
Yeah, they, at first, it was a little bit wonky where it was almost written for just a purchase. Like I was gonna have to find 25 grand in my budget, which is chop, which we don't have. And so I went to the board, I'm like, oh, you know, and so we went to make it work, but that should cover. Like, that's why that fund's there. What the police car is a vehicle with all the gear going down the road with lights and sirens. It's not a Chevy Tahoe that's not outfitted. And so that's what the fund is for. So that's where 75 grand is for the purchase
whole
of the
package.
outfit, whole thing.
I was going to make a suggestion that if the people concerned about the cell tower meeting for the planning board next week, it's only a week from tonight, maybe make the arrangement to get Carter Hall or St. Francis Hall right away and have the meeting at one of those places.
St. Francis Hall. If the town asks, we might be able to get it. I've got no idea if they would do it for an individual, because
Well, it is the planning board, so the town could ask, but
Okay.
just to be prepared now, instead of waiting until like Friday to change the location. But Carter Hall would do that, right?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Just gotta check with Sharon.
It's not a bad idea.
Sharon the Black. That's a big,
Sharon Roselle?
yes, Sharon Frizell.
She might like it easier.
I just checked the website and you gentlemen just approved the 20th and the 27th meetings. The meetings for the 14th are on here as a draft. And the meetings for the the minutes for the 20th and the 27th are not on here, but the meeting minutes from the 14th are on here. So
Okay.
they have been getting posted to the
Just not-
website. It's just the last two meetings where they were back to back like that, they're not on there.
Okay, so they still should, be on there, basically, as soon as they come in, get them on there in the draft form, and, as long as it says draft on it, that's fine and dandy.
Okay.
Do you know if the work that was requested last year is still up for the train? Is that still being solicited for somebody to come and do that work?
That's a darn good question, Chris.
Last I heard, there's no contractors.
So if nobody signed up for it,
Well, my question is it still being advertised?
If it was on the website, then it would still be there. We haven't taken anything down. I'm not sure if it's on, I don't know if they posted it on the website originally or not. Or if it was just something that went out.
I don't know.
There was a GoFundMe page for that.
Still out there.
It's still out there, it's still active.
It is? Have people given money to that?
There has not been any recent donations, but the website is still up and it is still active to be able to give donations to it.
As I understand it, and I may very well have this wrong, but I think Jim Weigel said last year, and this is before January 1st, that it was like $1,400 or something. Well, no, it was $14,000. He had a lot of money up there for somebody to come in and do the work, payment, repairing it, whatever. So, my question would be, how much money is there, since you've answered the question about it's still up there for soliciting for information?
Conservation gave money to that, and that money was
15.
held, and it's being held by the town as we speak.
That's
I think the beautification committee gave some too.
The conservation was the one that gave him like,
15,000.
yeah, 14.
That was a warrant article that went on.
So that's being held by the town.
The town
But
still
there was
got
other
that.
money there that was being handled by somebody else.
The towns didn't release that to.
Correct. No.
So at least that.
Last
money's
I
there.
knew.
And the, last we checked, the, GoFundMe stuff was still there and it had 1,500.
I think it's close to $3,000.
No, I think there was like $3,100 or $3,200 in there.
No,
Okay.
It's being
So-
held by somebody else, right?
There's
That has
money in that
nothing to do
too.
with the town.
Right.
Yep.
That has
Clarify.
nothing to do with the town does not have access to that money, and the town is not responsible for what
They-
happens to that money unless we take control of that money, because I have already talked to the lawyers about it.
I think they were the ones who put out bids, trying to get somebody to do that.
But as far as I know, nobody has ever,
Nope. They
Said
they couldn't
yes.
find somebody.
Well, then the following,
Yeah, remember, a head came in too, and they were gonna be doing some stuff, or
Yeah.
wanted to do some stuff.
that was about 2 or 3 meetings ago.
Yeah.
well, then, if you don't mind, the following question is, there was somebody, and I think it was from the beautification committee, that was still trying to get paid. My question is, did they ever get paid?
Yes and no.
Well, that's a good
Some
answer.
money was paid and some money was not paid. But at this point in time, we all changed, the women involved in this group now are called the Groveton Garden Group.
Not the
There are
beautification
5 or
committee.
6 of us involved. And we were on the, what do you call it, budget line item
Yep.
in the town report, to get $1,500 from the town for this year. And we will use that money, and we have totally separated ourselves from the beautification committee. That is,
So,
we're done with where we're concerned.
so what happened to the money? that-
We have no idea. A lot of money was unaccounted for that the townspeople gave, and there is no way to find out how that money was spent. Unfortunately, we were told by the previous selectman, Al, you were there, that we could not, at one of the meetings, I stood up and requested accountability for that money, and we were told we could not get it.
Well, I'm sorry, but I was gone for 4 months. But my question again is, when I left, as I understood it, the local bank here had the money. Somebody has to be on the cards.
Jim Wiggle was on that, as well as Courtney McLean Perkins on that account. And we've asked, they cannot share that information with anyone other than the 2 people that are on that account. They did not tell us who those people were, but Jim Wiggle told us at a meeting. So there's nothing we can do about it, Chris. It's over and done with, unfortunately.
Jim
And
Wiegel.
we as a group will make sure while we're doing this, that nothing like that will ever happen again.
So what happens
Leave
is
the
money
way.
is in this bank,
Hmm?
those 2 people have control of that money.
As I understand it, yes.
The way I understand it, the folks that got paid, the individual that got paid, discovered that there were 2 signatures on the bottom of the check.
There were 2?
Yeah, one was Mr. Wiggles and the other one was
Yes, I believe you're
Courtney's.
right.
And that's how they figured who was on the account at the bank.
But I think Jim had said in a public meeting last year that Courtney needed a second person on the account, and that is why he
He was on it.
his name.
But to do that, that tells you those are the 2 people that are on the account, just by signing the check.
Chris, there's kind of a long story that goes with this. And there's just no way to recover anything, and they're not forthcoming and won't give us any accountability, and there's nothing that can be done the way they set that up and the way they got the money given to them by the town.
And there was, in fairness to Courtney, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but she did do some expenses for the town. I didn't necessarily agree that it was beautification. It was like, trunk or treat and what else? There were different things for children.
Pumpkin carving and that stuff. Pumpkin carving and all that.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. And she did pay for flowers, but, so I'm sure some money went to the, I just don't know how much was spent because she didn't share that.
If I understand correctly, when the warrant was put in, nothing was in the warrant that said that they had to give an accounting of the money. We just voted to give it to them, and that's why they don't have to say anything legally.
They were the only, fund on that warrant article that wasn't a non-profit. And they had no requirement to give any accountability of that. Like, if you're a non-profit, you've gotta make a report to the state based on that. They thought about that right from the get-go.
Well, we don't know.
Jim?
Folks, I have a, request from Dave Ozier. He would like us to make a, motion to approve the Northumberland Energy Committee as Board of Selectmen's Project Committee to assist, coordinate progress updates with regard to the town's LED streetlight conversion project. This is temporary, no-cost appointment, and will confer no authority or to operate the town financially or other obligation. It is only for the sole purpose of assisting with this singular cost-saving initiative. That's from Dave Ozier. I make a motion as read.
I'll second that.
Questions, comments? Okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody.
Becky, you want a copy of this?
Yeah. Have you got my number in there?
Huh?
Have you got my number in your phone?
Here, I got it. I'll hand you my phone.
Okay. Anybody else?
So is that
Just take a picture of it.
with the,
Oh, right there on the,
telephone?
It's in my email.
They replaced a couple of them.
Who did?
People did
Yeah, I
that.
got that.
Maybe it's just.
It could be just telephone poles, it could be something that possibly in the, water project, I've got no idea. if-
No, this is before the water project, there's the back of my house, but they're not doing a water project in the back of my house. No, but I had to get them to move so I could go work, because for two different, well, the second morning, they left me room.
I've got no idea,
No, I just wondered if that had something to do with it.
I've got no idea on that. Okay, if nothing else, need a motion.
You gotta give an announcement.
What? Oh, yeah, announcements, okay, I can do those now. Okay, next board meeting, Monday, May 18th, 2026, 6 p.m. here. And now we need a motion to go into non-pub. I'll second that motion. We'll wait until Al comes out.
Pretty sure you
No. I didn't want to accept the
Vacation?
Why would
Yeah,